Ah, yes, here we go. Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. Tonight we have episode 3 of season 2 of Fractured Empire, our Star Wars Fantasy Flight Games Actual Play. I'm Pete, the Game Master. In a moment we'll go round and everyone will tell you who they are and who they're playing. But first, please don't forget to go and check out all our social media. Links are below. If you're on Twitch, come and join us on YouTube at the weekend for all of our episodes updated there. And if you're watching this back on YouTube, come and follow us on Twitch. We have lots of fun. You can join in the chat. Join us on our Discord, where we're talking about all our shows and role-playing in general, as well as food and all kinds of other things. Biscuits. That was good. In a weird way, but let's not talk about that.
Let's not dwell on how we got to biscuits. That's the adventure to come and be had.
Indeed. And also check out our Patreon, where there's loads of cool free stuff. And if you do want to support the channel, there's even more cool stuff for you to get your hands on. Cool. Okay. Right. That's all the blurb out of the way. We're going to go around the other way this time. We're going to start with Millie.
Oh, hello,
how you
folks.
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not prepared for that. Hello. My name's Millie, and I've got a droid. I'm a droid. A protocol droid. No, not a protocol droid. A manifest droid called LE405, who is actually a Politico. Colonist, a Politico. And apparently a bit of a thief.
This is true. This is true. We're finding out that you're very good at distractions.
Yes.
Yeah.
These big golden robots are.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Thank you very much, Millie. Over to our resident Mando. How you doing?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm playing Taslin Drennick, who is a Mandalorian, but not like a cult or creedy Mandalorian. She's not like an angry. Well, she's angry, but not like a normal Mandalorian that everybody knows about anyway. So yeah, and she's the bodyguard. Likes to hit things, shoot things, unsurprisingly.
And you got to tackle with a few people last week, didn't you?
I stunned them. I didn't kill them.
Yeah. I was amazed, I got to say.
Restraint.
It was fantastic. Cool. Excellent. Well, maybe we'll get some more action in this time. We'll slide across the screen along the bottom to the original Dan. Original Dan, how are you doing?
Good evening, everyone. I am Original Dan. Thank you. I'm doing all right. And tonight I am playing a Wookiee by the name of Nyruk, and they are a technician mechanic.
Yes. And there's some good guttural exaltation going on throughout the show. But we save it for the action, don't we, Dan? We don't just waste it.
Yeah, we'll save it.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. I think you were covered in blood last time, weren't you? Oh no, that was the droid, wasn't it? That was the droid.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I helped clean the droid, though.
Well, you avoided the blood by landing on the droid. Yeah, fair play. And last but not least, the captain of the Wayfarer.
Hi, I'm Roger, and I am playing Kavan, the human smuggler scoundrel.
Who desires only money. We are, after all, playing Edge of the Empire, not one of the other ones. Age of Rebellion or Force and Destiny, that's the one. Although, there's themes of all of that, you know. Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. I've been looking forward to this. We didn't play last week, so it's nice to get back on the Star Wars. So, previously on Fractured Empire, the party had found a body. Yeah. And there was a bit of a chase after someone leaving the scene through the kind of factory level inside the Union structure. And there was stunning, not murdering, so there was stunning going on. That was very good. Kavan continued to become chums with the Eriadu Authority, our empire in this show, and get like a note of recommendation on helping to capture these people who turned out to be. Anyone remember
Republic spies.
New Republic spies. Yes, they were. And you saw a vehicle drive off. And you took some data slates, you got some information and stuff, and then you all kind of, I think there was a droid covered in blood, and you got the Authority troopers to come. One of them fell down a gap, and it was all kind of fun jumping over the railings and stuff. And you all met up at a cantina afterwards to discuss what was going on. And while you were there, you were seeing all the great advertisements for the Phoebus Memorial Run, which is the massive pod race that's going on tonight, Phoebus Memorial Run. And every now and then, there's kind of like profiles of pod racers like appearing on the screen. Aston Arcourt, SP33D, Chad Forter, Raul Rua, and all this kind of stuff, and various different people appearing on these screens. And it was showing cut scenes of like pod racers flying through a forest area with giant creatures, and a gas swamp with explosive pockets, and then a ravine with falling boulders, and then an industrial area with kind of big, they like to fly between pylons with electricity crackling between them, that kind of thing. So
sounds like they've actually set it in the Crystal Maze. I'm sorry to interrupt there, but it sounds like they've set it in the Crystal Maze.
Yeah. There's a industrial. There's an Aztec.
That's my favourite.
Flying into the Aztec zone. So obviously this big thing is going on, and there's people wandering around with big foam fingers and all this kind of stuff in the city. So it's all getting ramped up and exciting. Big holograms of things and all that kind of stuff going on. And you guys are kind of hunkering in the corner, chatting about what you found. And you saw in the information that you had that there was something about a hospital on the edge of town. So you decided to head over there to see what was going on. And there, after some good distraction by the droid, you got in and you found Kenneth Palion, the New Republic agent who was talking to you about what was going on, and that they were after Clem Lacuva. They want to find out where the general is. Everyone wants to find out where the general is. And he's now a bit upset that two of his companions have been taken by the Eriadu Authority and offered to pay you to,
liberate them.
Yeah. So you found that entertaining because it was your fault that they got captured. And as you were there talking, the comm link that you had found went off, and it was Clem Lacuva. And she was telling you that she was on the edge of town at Governor Vinca Rastine's residence, and she was under attack, and you could hear sort of shots in the background. So you were like, oh my god, and that's where we ended the episode. So you were all kind of standing in this loading bay of the back entrance of the, I think it was the super urgent organ transplant kind of access door. And you had this communication. He said he's going to go off and talk to his contact to see if he can get a sum of monies to tempt K-Van into action. And he'd kind of gone off. So you guys are standing there, and LE405 is obviously out waiting for you outside. So the three of you are in this loading bay.
Are there any vehicles heading out of the loading bay?
No, it's kind of this small area where just that little Union transport vehicle had like parked up.
Is the vehicle that he came in and took from the place still there?
Yeah, it's just sitting there.
Let's steal it.
Okay.
I mean, the Mandalorian. She we need to get to where we're going quickly, right? And she points at the van to Caven. He doesn't need it anymore.
Reckon you can get it moving, Nyruk?
You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Good start.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Everyone in my living room was looking at me.
Brilliant.
I mean, is this like in Star Wars? And you never see him use ignition keys to like turn things on. So I guess we don't need to like drop down some visors looking for keys and stuff.
Well, this is a Union vehicle, so it does have an access, like something you'd maybe slot a card in to say I'm present, but there doesn't seem to be a card in there.
I'm going to pull down the sun visors. Still any cards?
Oh, I tell you what, let's roll our force die, and if you guys get more light side than dark side, the card is on top of the visor. Okay.
Oh no!
Good start.
It's down to you guys.
Oh.
No, no.
That's it. We're
It's
done.
not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. The most Dan could get is 2. Oh, never mind.
No.
Okay.
Rigged.
Oh my.
There's no card in it, so you're going to have to do a. You can try and access it through the card point and kind of computer hack it, or you can try and mechanics it by just like wrenching the side open and turning it over.
Taslin moves out of the way and goes, "All yours, Furball."
Right. Giving the Mandalorian a scowl, I will.
She probably can't tell.
The massive eyebrows go.
It's like some fur goes.
I will go for mechanics.
Okay. Now I would give you a setback die, but you are, because of your dark side roll, it's 2 difficulty.
2 difficulty.
Yep.
Okay. You could give me a setback dice, but I have an ability that negates it.
Yeah, so that's what I was going. I would have done, but you're impervious to 2 setback dice on mechanics.
Yeah. Okay, so so roll that and see what happens. Hooray!
Okay, cool.
Is that right? Yeah, that looks right.
Yeah. So you
Jolly
succeed,
good.
and you kind of pull open a side panel. You get some of your things out. You like pull a thing out.
Nicely done, Nyruk.
And it's like.
I'll hop in the driver's seat, I guess.
With your
Just
3
hand above his
advantages, the vehicle's inbuilt navigation tracking GPS type thing, it's Google Maps. It pops up on the screen, showing you lots of the local area with annotated structures, including Governor's residence.
Yeah, that's where we're off to.
Okay, so you head out. You who's driving?
I am.
Who's coming to pick the droid up at the left of the entrance?
Right? So,
Oh, God,
so you got to go back out that way anyway. So you turn it around. Yeah, there's a little droid and you pull up alongside Ellie 405.
All right.
Jump in.
Yeah.
Cool. And the barrier, it's one of those auto open on the way out type affairs.
Mm-hmm.
So you go out the out barrier and you get back onto the main road. And as you remember last time, there were lots of people moving about the city. They're all kind of flowing in towards the large kind of half stadium that you saw. Obviously, it's like the start point and the end point for the pod race. And it's on the edge of the city, sort of away from you. The residence is the other way. So you think it'd probably be quite quiet over there.
Oh yeah. Well, let's head in that direction.
Okay. So you
My
drive.
mining guild hat on.
Yeah, but you want.
Coming in handy now, isn't it? You were doubting that fashion choice 2 episodes ago, but now it's part of an elaborate disguise.
I'll have to buy a cape to match.
Yeah. Well, I think the attendant that you spoke to, Ellie 405,
Yeah, I did.
is going to like start a line of capes in the merchandising area, weren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Where they were going wrong.
So you drive through the streets, and as you're driving out that way, it's getting quieter and quieter on the roads. This is clearly, you're on Malastare, and pod racing is the thing, and this is the Phoebus Memorial Run. It's like some big celebrated event, and all the people are moving that way. So as you drive out towards the residence, and then you can kind of see it on this like little hill. You're right on the edge of Heverplex, and it's a fairly nice sort of marbly structure with some pillars around the outside, some nice kind of sweeping roofs up to a central point, and it's got sort of landscaped grounds around it. Yeah, but it does look like there's a way for people to go in. So it's obviously it's a place that has had visitors, and people arrive there to meet with the governor. So there's kind of some kind of service entrance, but there's also kind of large grounds around it with a fence all the way around. From this distance right now, sort of take you a few minutes to drive up there, you can't really see what kind of security, if there are any people walking the grounds or any droids or anything flying in the air. You can't really tell from here. Do you want to do anything before you actually approach the site itself?
Yes. I'm going to have a look through. I've got what are they called in this? Macro binoculars.
Oh. Okay. Right.
To have a look from a distance.
Okay. So you park up, and you kind of get out, and you're leaning on the hood of the car and like looking at the residence. Make a perception roll.
Difficulty?
Standard 2. Nice, 2 successes. So you are kind of panning around the area. You kind of zoom in, zoom out, over there, zoom in, zoom out. And you got 2 successes, so you spot 2 things. There's hardly anyone around now. It's really quiet, absolutely deserted. And you can see that on the front gate, the gate is up, and there's a broken window in the little guard station, smashed window. And then further, so that's one thing you notice, and then further in the grounds, you see people moving around the outside of the structure as if they're tucked up close to it, but facing inwards.
I will calm Clem.
One of them got me really, really bad. Wait, Gavin, is that you? Are you coming?
Yeah, there's a lot of people moving around outside. I'm assuming they're the ones after you.
Yeah, okay. I don't think they're after me.
You think they're after Vinka?
Yeah, I think so. I think they.
Is Vinka safe?
Vinka's attending the pod race. My leg.
Oh, I see. We'll be there shortly. And I'll kind of cut the comm. And I'll explain the situation to the others. There's a bunch of what we believe are hostiles outside. Clem is wounded, so we need to make sure we get her out alive because that's our pay. So we're going in blasters hot.
Might this be the point I mentioned I have no blaster or weapon of any kind in this situation? I left it in the Wayfarer.
I'll give her my blaster. I'll give the droid my blaster because I have spare weapons.
You are a weapon.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah, I
Noah.
wasn't going with the cliche, but
This
yeah.
one and this one.
Also, if we wish, I have a comms. What else have I got? A comms jammer? Is that the right one?
That would be very useful.
Ooh.
I also have a scrambler. That's better. But that's decoded. No, jamming. We'll commence jamming of comms.
That sounds like a great idea.
So it's a kind of localized field. You think it would probably just about cover the residence if you set it off near the structure.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do it from here.
Yeah, we need to get
local area. You need to
get in
get
and-
that device to the building and turn it on.
Yeah.
And then no one in the building will be able
I mean, could she turn it on here and then we just drive it?
Well, of
to
course,
there?
yeah. But you might detect it gives out some energy, doesn't it? So
Yeah. Somebody on one side of the building will realise that the other side of the building's been jammed.
maybe.
That kind of stuff.
If you're quick, they might not notice.
All right. Well, let's get back in and head towards the residence.
Right, so you drive up to the front gate.
Mm-hmm.
As you get there, you can see that the window is smashed and kind of charred around the edges like a blast through the glass. And the chair that's in there seems to be leaning to one side. From where you are in the vehicle, though, you can't see into the...
Oh, we're just driving straight through.
Okay, you go through. The arm is up. The camera maybe pans down to a body lying in the. But you guys don't see it. You're driving up this, and there's a driveway up through lovely kind of managed lawns with some lovely kind of trees and sculptures sort of dotted around, and some of them got little plaques on, clearly donations to the governor's residence from different foundations or groups, or that kind of thing. There is, as you approach the residence, in the middle of the large kind of courtyard in front, there is a pod racer, like on a plinth, kind of as a statue almost. But you can tell this used to be an actual pod racer, but it's kind of there, and it's one of those big quad jumper engine things. Looks pretty impressive. It looks like it's been kind of looked after and done up a bit, but almost maintained a hint of being through the races. So there are little dinks and scratches on it, but they look like they're kind of varnished over, to preserve them as they are. As you kind of approach and you're getting closer to the structure, everybody make perception rolls.
We're at difficulty 2.
Yes. Oh, so check failed. Check succeed. Okay. So, 2 people passed and 2 people failed. Kavan and Taslin, you hear blaster shots coming from up ahead, sort of east slightly, to one wing of the residence. And as you get close, you can see that this courtyard goes into the middle between 2 wings, east wing and the west wing. There's a main structure ahead of you with large staircase. There's big windows. It looks very, very grand. And these kind of sweeping roofs up to points around you. But yeah, you can hear kind of blasts.
I'll drive
coming from that
towards where the blast fire is coming from.
Okay. Right, so you drive up. How are you going to get right up to the building, or are you going to kind of stop? The nearest kind of cover that would be big enough to hide your vehicle is the pod racer in the middle of the courtyard. You could park behind that, or
I
you
don't
could
care
just
if the
drive
vehicle
straight up
gets
to the building.
damaged.
Okay, right. So you're just going to drive straight up to the building.
Yeah, it's not my truck.
Okay, sure. Okay. As you drive up to the building, you can hear shots ahead. And people talking, but you can't hear what they're saying, but you can hear that there are people talking. sort of shouting things to each other. And through the windows to your right, into what looks like some sort of a library. Yeah, you can see like a long library that you might sort of sit in and look out into the courtyard and the pod racer. There is flashes of light, but you can't see anyone in that room. Maybe it's coming from a doorway in there, Taslin. You're kind of like, I'm seeing reflected light from another room. But yeah, that's what you see. So you kind of park the vehicle up and go.
Yeah.
Jam comes or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Boop.
What does your comm jammer do then?
Hang on, let me
I think it creates difficulty for me to comm.
yeah, to break through the jamming, computers check as determined by the GM. The closer to the jammer, the harder the check.
Okay. Right. Gotcha. Okay.
So just like
Cool. Okay. So you switch that on. And you're gonna leave it in the van. Or are you gonna take it with you?
I put it in the pod racer.
Okay, cool. Right.
That's
You
going to
kinda
be close enough.
Plonk it on the pod racer.
Yeah.
Cool. That's like pretty much in the middle of this
Yeah.
compound. So that starts to spread out. You guys will also need to make such rolls to get past the jammer, but you're not so worried about that. Okay, so looking at this side of the building, you can see there's large windows this side that you could easily like smash through and get through. Round on the end of this wing, there seems to be a door that is slightly open. It looks like it probably leads into a chamber next to the library, or you could go in the main front door, but then you'd have to go through the building and round to the right.
Nearest door.
Okay, right. So you move to the nearest door, and it's slightly open, and you can hear beyond. Come out, come out. We don't want to kill you. Come out, come out. And you can hear Clem responding. Nah, you're gonna. I'm not coming in alive. No, no. Firing back, and then there's a blast of shots.
Can we sneak in and head towards where they are?
I don't think we've got time to sneak. I think we should run.
Well, I mean, can we tell how close they are?
So you can hear this shouting, sort of, as you look in the doorway. There's like an entrance kind of chamber where you can put like coats and things like that. And then immediately opposite, there's another door into the library. The library kind of is long along this whole wing, but it's not the whole width of the building. So there's clearly rooms off the library. And one of those, there's a door open and there's light coming out of there. You could probably run to that doorway in a round. But if someone were hiding in the library somewhere, you wouldn't be able to. In the library, there's kind of chairs and, a few ornaments and little statues and things. So if you want to run in, you could run to that doorway and see immediately what's going on beyond.
I will run to the doorway.
Okay, Nyruk.
Opposed brawn.
Are you going to try and
going to-
stop Nyruk?
Yes.
Okay.
Taslin's full tactical right now. She clearly
Okay.
knows what she's doing.
Why don't we
I think.
roll initiative?
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to roll initiative because we're getting into combat
Is this
territory.
one cool or?
You're
Vigilance?
aware of it, so it's cool.
I need to improve my cool.
For initiative.
Yeah.
Remember, it's difficulty 0 for initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? So I get 2. I've got 2 successes then.
Okay.
I actually get 4 successes because I have rapid reaction.
Okay.
I have 2 successes. I wanted.
So me and Nyruk score the exact same.
Oh.
What do I get? I have. What's that? 1 threat. 1 failure. So I have 2 successes and 4 advantages.
I don't think advantages do anything in there.
Tiebreakers.
Yeah, advantages are exactly
Yeah.
that.
Okay. So We have got. Let's roll this up so everyone can see. We've got LE405. We shouldn't have had. So what did
I
you
shouldn't
end
have
up
had
with?
2 successes and 4 advantage.
Wow. Okay. You beat me. Taslin, you failed.
Yeah, but you're not supposed
Oh,
to roll
you got
difficulty.
2,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Okay, so you got 2.
2 and 1
2
advantage.
and 1 advantage. And then Kavan got 4 and 1 advantage, and Nyruk got 2 and 1 advantage. So I think you all beat me, because I got 2 successes. So it's effectively you guys get to go first. One of you.
I'm just going to start sneaking up towards where I think they are.
I think we should have a roll off between Nyruk, Kavan, and Taslin, right? To see, because Dan did say I'm just running into the room, so we're gonna have a roll off, right? And
Well, surely it'd only be between them because I'm quicker than both of them.
oh, that's true.
'Cause-
Yeah, that's
no,
true.
but initiative isn't like who goes first. It is to determine the order of
which side?
us versus them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like once you've rolled it, it doesn't.
I mean, if Kavan sneaks up to the next doorway, that's fine, and then Nyruk can just go running past if Nyruk wants to. So I think we need to have some sort of what role would that be?
Well, it would be an initiative roll.
Agility? Could you just say straight agility?
Yeah,
Straight agility.
yeah.
Oh,
How do you?
So Kavan, you're going to sneak into the room. Yeah.
Yes, and see if I can spot anything.
So you sneak into this little chamber beyond the doorway. Let's make a stealth roll. See how stealthy you
are. Do I get any any boost die because they're shouting at each other and shooting?
Yeah. Yeah, you can have a boost die, sure.
And difficulty 2?
Yeah, just standard, because there's like you might push something over.
Oh my god!
7 advantages.
How did I fail that?
Okay. Okay. So you step in, and the door creaks heavily as you come in, right? Making a loud noise, and it knocks something over behind it, which you wouldn't have seen. And it just goes whoop, smacks against the floor. Something wooden and loud, so it's like made a big slapping noise. Let me see if perception. What you failed?
I did fail somehow.
Okay, and you hear someone from the other room shout, "What was that?"
I'm going to use some of those advantages. I forget how many I need to upgrade the difficulty of attacks against me in the next round.
I think that's 2, isn't it? That's cool.
Possibly.
Okay, so you kind of you step into the room, you get into position by the next doorway, but you have knocked something over and alerted them to your presence.
All right, I will. Can I use 2 of the advantages to do another maneuver to basically get in really good cover or hidden completely if I can?
In this room or in the library?
In this, well, is there really good cover in this room?
It's like a cloakroom, so you could like hide behind a load of stuff.
Or hide behind the coats?
Yeah, well, you'd be less visible than the shiny droid.
No,
Not that
I'll
anyone
go
shoots droids.
I'll go into the next room if there's better cover in there.
Okay, yeah. So you go into the next room, and there's there's large furniture and things that you can
and I'll
hide
behind large
yeah,
furniture.
Sure. That's fine. That's fine. We'll let you do that. So you alerted them, but you're hidden. Okay. Right. And it's their go. And you hear someone go, Who cares? Gleege wants them alive. That's what you hear. And then you see someone kind of step round into the library and look through at you the doors open, the noise has been made, and fires a shot through the doorways. So it's going to be difficult because there's lots of intervening kind of stuff. But I'm going to have to roll to see who he shoots at, and odds it's Nyruk, and evens it's Taslin. Taslin, hey.
The force is strong with this one.
Here we go.
Bear with me 2 seconds. I
I think you'll find.
think you'll find. So I'm going to spend 2 strain for sidestep, and I'm going to increase your difficulty by that much. So it's 2 more difficulty die.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Okay,
Reactive.
I'm going to use a dark side point to upgrade one of my ability dice to a proficiency dice.
Takes my strain down to 11.
Okay. Here we go. Oh dear.
Wow.
He's got 2 setback die against you, standing out in the open, completely shocked, fires at you, blasts the wall, like dust and stuff goes in his face, and he's like, this, dusty library's kind of giving him difficulty. So he's like, right, now it's your guys' go. Nyruk, you running into the thing?
I mean, they just shot at us, right?
Oh yeah.
Pull his arms off.
Then yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
charge him.
Okay, Nyruk's going run into the room. Go
How
for it.
dare he shoot at my friends?
You can do
Taslin
it.
is literally rubbing her head like this is not even remotely tactical in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So, do I get there in time? Or...
Oh yeah. You can move up to him and attack him. That's fine.
Brawl.
Oh yes.
Okay. Let's see if this works.
Difficulty
What's the
2, but you get
difficulty?
2 boost die
Oh, thank you.
because of his threat. So he either had a setback or the next person would get boost die. So you get 2 boost die.
Oh yeah. So roll that. Hey, 2 successes, 5 advantages.
That's got to be. You've got to roll a critical or something.
Yeah, what's
right?
the crit rating on whatever weapon you've got?
Hold on. Get equipment. These are blast knuckles.
They sound fun.
I'm guessing that's like knuckle dusters with shotgun shells on, right? It's like
Yeah.
I think it might be like the
you know-
things Chris Stanton uses in Book of Boba Fett.
I'm not sure.
Kind of
actually.
electro knuckle dusters.
oh,
Where would I
wicked.
find- It's not on the weapon. What would it look like?
Let's
Oh,
see.
crit 4, it says.
Oh right, okay. So you can use
So you
4
can spend-
advantage to do a crit.
Oh, cool.
What damage is your blast knuckles?
7,
Oh,
Oh my god, what's his?
but I can't deal strain damage.
He's a minion. He can't take strain damage.
Oh,
so
no.
9
Okay.
damage and a crit.
Okay, so you like run in. How are you? Like this guy's going to be like people pate. Well, how do you take him down?
Though I'm quite good at brawling, I'm not really a combat person, so I would kind of going into him full whack, shoulder down, American football player, like,
Mhm.
in the shoulder, and then kind of punching him in the side of the gut as I do it.
Cool. Okay. He crumples like a sack of crap, and kind of slides across the floor. Should we roll a critical just for fun?
Yeah.
Right, it's a D100, which is the only thing that annoys me about this game. I didn't figure out a way to use the funky dice for the critical table. Right, let's have a look. And you don't have any...
So yeah, roll a D100 down.
Yeah, roll a D100 down.
Can you do that on here?
Yeah, just do /roll space D100.
Okay, that's not.
Probably done that roll the wrong way around. Oh no, I did /roll D100. Says error unresolved string term D100 request for evaluation.
1D100.
Oh, 1D100.
Yeah.
There we go. Try that. 99.
99. Nerf to nerf.
I've got to say, you are good at rolling criticals, aren't you?
That's got to be something good.
Okay, let's have a look. Where are we?
You'll need the criticals that I take, though.
Here we go.
It's Alien all over again.
I know.
You tore his arm off.
Oh, literally.
Crippled.
Like,
One of the
How
target's
appropriate.
limbs is crippled until healed or replaced. No one's going to heal him.
Excellent.
You tore his arm off. You're like, and you, like, arm hits the wall, body hits the floor,
Fantastic.
and you're like,
Yeah, big.
you all see the majestic rage of a Wookiee.
Always let the Wookiee win.
Classic. Okay. You can hear in the other room more shots. That's their turn. Then it's Taslin or LE405.
it's probably Taslin. Let's be honest there.
You would have thought Tassie would have gone first, being the tactical soldier here, but I mean, she's just seen the Wookiee rip someone's arm off. So there's people now, we think, beyond the door in the room ahead of us.
Yeah, so if you get into the library and turn right, you can look through the doorway and see what's going on in the next room where there's shots coming from.
And is that a single maneuver from where I am?
That would be your turn to get to that doorway.
Well, what I'll do is
You can take strain to do another
I was going to say, I'm going to do my maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to take strain to do another maneuver to get
Okay.
to that point. So I've still got my action still available to me.
Yep. So you get in the room, you look around, you see K-Van hiding behind a chaise lounge, Nyrek standing over a dead body, and you kind of step to the side between them towards the doorway.
Yeah.
And you
Unlike the unprofessional people who went in there, she's going in tactically, checking the corners as she goes around each like sort of bookcase and stuff, you know, just making sure.
Yeah.
Because the idiots that were charging in first. And then can it kind of get to the edge of the door and sort of peep round and have a look at the situation on the inside of the room.
My computer's being a bit weird for some reason. Sorry, 1 second. Cool. So you get to this doorway, and as you look in, it's some kind of like a movie room kind of thing. Yeah, like there's a big screen over one side, and there's lots of big chairs, big armchairs and stuff, and some of them are thrown over, and some of them are like got blaster marks in them. And at the far side, there's like a bar, and you can see a blood trail now coming in from another doorway to your left, behind the bar, and to your right there are two guys sort of behind things going shooting at the bar. One of them is like creeping up while the other one's shooting, and every now and then you sort of see a hand pop over the bar and like, and the guy sort of ducks down, but they are creeping up slowly on the bar.
I'm going to shoot the one that's creeping up.
Okay.
Difficulty 2?
I
I assume there's no intervening.
It depends on the range.
I imagine it's quite close at this point, isn't
If
it?
they're short range, it's probably 1.
Oh, I don't know if it's that close.
yeah, no, it is that close actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
He takes 12 points of damage.
Wow. Okay. So it's like creeping around, and this hand comes out like, and you just walk in. And what gun have you got?
I've got basically Boba Fett's like sort of blaster carbine, but it's highly like modified.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, and she just walks in and goes.
Yeah, and he's like, ugh, his body like falls into an armchair the wrong way round, and it kind of falls over the back, and he's gone. Star Wars. There's not too much blood. But you see smoke rising up from his body on the other side. He's clearly dead. And the other guy in the room turns around and he's like, who's what? And he's like, tries to bring his gun up to shoot you. So there's only one of them left now. There we go. So sorry, I'm still getting used to how minions work in Foundry. So it's like I've got to modify their current wounds, and then it drops their. No, that's not right. Oh, they do it the other way around. So you've got to.
Do you have any defense on your armor, Dan? Because I've got a feeling you're about to get shot at.
I don't have any defense on my armor. No, it's all soak.
Cool.
Okay, here we go. So it's short range. So let's do that. Let's do that. And I'm going to use a dark side point to upgrade one of my dice.
Yeah. I'm fairly confident I'm going to be okay.
He fires, but he's like trying to actually like get into kind of cover while he's doing it. So he like moves to the side and gets in a better position. So he has a boost die next time. But will there be a next time? Who knows?
Depends on how good Ellie plays with a blast pistol.
Okay, so that's the end of the round.
No, Ellie's.
Oh yeah, sorry, Ellie 405. You're going to come in and shoot him. That'd be awesome.
Go on.
I can try. Yeah, sure. All right,
Over
so I will.
Taslin's shoulder, like.
No, it's not even that. It's like, how do you know if the safety's on? Like that kind of looking over your shoulder at Naira and just sort of.
Yeah. Checking the gun and it goes off and you shoot the guy in the head.
Yeah, maybe not. Is it, what would it be? Ranged?
1.
Ranged light.
Oh, ranged
Ranged
light. Yeah. And it's difficulty 1.
No, what am I doing there? Difficulty. Oh, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. There we go. That's better. All right. Oof! Yes, I do.
Oh,
How do you know
cool.
if the safety's on? And it just fires. Yeah.
And you shoot this guy for.
I don't know. What damage does it do, Dan?
Is it a heavy
Hold
blast
on,
pistol?
good question. It is a heavy blaster pistol, yeah.
So that'll do
I
10.
think it's 7.
Yeah.
Sorry?
It'll
Heavy
do
blast
10 because of the 3.
Well, it's 1 to hit, isn't it? And then 2 more. So it's 9.
All right,
Mhm.
9.
Yeah.
Oh, do you add successes as well? Oh, in which case I did 14 damage to that guy earlier.
Well, he was
He's got a slightly bigger hole in him.
doubly dead. Yeah. Technically, you should have killed all of them then. Because they're minions and you walk in and go and they all fire at you and stuff. But I was playing them a little bit individual there because there was only a few of them. So Ellie 405, you walk in and go, how do you know if the safety's on? And you're like, and a shot like bounces off the giant screen in the corner of the room and comes back and hits him in the side of the head, and he slumps to the floor dead.
And like, oh my, that kind of thing.
Oh dear.
Oh no, Master Naira, your weapon was accidentally discharged.
You hear like someone scrabbling to like try and like get up. K-Van.
And I'll stroll into the room like I wasn't hiding.
Like awesome. And Clem
Walking in like
Lacuva,
Darth Vader looking at the carnage.
Holding my blaster pistol like I was always there in the danger zone.
Yeah.
Clem Lacuva kind of shuffles around from behind the bar in the corner of the room. All the bottles are smashed. She's covered in various different drinks, and there's like, a thick smell coming from her.
Are there any intact bottles of drinks still there?
There are a couple. Yeah.
Excellent. I will.
She's
pick
kind
one
of
up.
wiping herself down.
How bad's her wound? Can we see from here?
Well, she's sliding out sideways.
Taslin probably would have
her left leg
gone straight
is
over.
in tatters.
Okay. I have an emergency med pack and I have a military med pack, which gives me an extra dice for medical treatments.
Okay.
I can't remember what the actual med pack does though.
Doesn't that just contain stim packs, which just give you wounds pack? I think.
I don't know. Either way, I'm going to attempt to medicate her while she's dragging herself around because apparently this is our money, so she needs to be alive.
Yeah, she comes out and she's like, someone get a med pack. And she's kind of like lies in the floor. She's not unconscious. She's lying on the floor. She's clearly tough, Taslin. I don't know if you've probably heard about Clem or seen her once or twice.
I mean, this guy's talked about her enough.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, he says he hates her, but he talks about her a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
And she's lying flat on the floor, and you go and start patching her leg
Yeah.
up. Ellie 405, your visual databanks correlate her outfit with something you've seen earlier on in the day. She seems to be wearing the outfit of Ruto Zapal. It was one of the pod racers on the big screen that you saw, but was a masked pod racer on the big screen that you saw earlier on. It's like a red. It's got like it's like, you know, in Star Trek when they always do something with a weird like pilot outfit, which is like really colourful and jazzy. You know, it's kind of like got big red split down the middle, silver parts, big gloves, and like a neck, almost like a coif, like a leather coif, kind of padded thing to protect your neck. And you can see over in the corner room, there's like a helmet, like a mask. Not really a helmet. It's mostly the front with kind of straps around the back. And she's kind of lying there like, where's the... Rastine got out of here in time. They were saying their Glee just sent them to... I don't know. They're after the governor, but he'd already headed to the pod race. I was going to catch up with him and meet him there, and oh damn! She looks down at her leg. She's like,
I pour myself a drink while she's being medicated.
It's like I'm not gonna be able to.
You're not going to be able to impersonate a pod race pilot?
No. Well, she's kind of in a lot of pain. No, I was going to fill in. She's in a lot of pain and she's kind of slipping in and out.
If it's critical to your mission, Havan is a very good pilot.
Pod racers aren't my specialty, I'll say.
But you're so talented, says Ellie.
There's two important things. My backup team, Greela and Booley, were going to meet the governor I was going to communicate with them to get them to meet him and get him off planet. But as I understand, and I saw on the holonet, like there's a warrant out for Booley's arrest, and that's not really going to work.
Yes, we prevented their arrest earlier on.
Thank you, Kavan. She's like getting a little bit woozy, and Taslin's doing the stuff.
Yeah, while she's distracted, Taslin jabs her.
She like weakly like slaps you, but it doesn't even hurt. But it's like it's a reaction, you know. But it doesn't hurt you. She's just like,
Taslin looks at her and goes, "I'm gonna let you have that one for free."
Oh man, no, I there's the Ariada Authority. They're building something out in the industrial sector where the pod race skirts past. She pulls out of her pocket, I've got this special scanning device. I was going to attach it to the pod race and capture all the details I could on the way past. I mean, I wasn't going to win the race or anything, but Kavan, I need your help. You're a damn good pilot.
I am in space.
It is a very fetching piloting outfit.
Oh, it doesn't have a cape.
But I'm sure I've seen a cape that
behind the bar.
I kind of lean over the bar, cocktail glass in hand.
There's like a black leather cape.
More tempting.
It's important. We need to know what they're building there. The Authority are trying to stake a claim on Alistair. They've got Rastine's guys in their pocket. They've taken his family. He's their puppet. I was going to get him off planet. We're going to try and track down his family. It's getting bad. They're muscling into Alistair. It's gonna switch to the Authority any day. We can't we can't let that happen. We've got to expose it all. Did you found my communicator? I left it behind at the scene. Did you get anything from that office?
Yes, I believe LE-405 obtained data regarding their dealings with the Eriadu Authority and Nyruk.
Oh yeah, I forget you've got a new crew.
Do we still have the stuff in the bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll kind of pull out. I mean, someone's got the data slate. I'll
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of say, waving
I'll,
my cocktail
Turn
glass
my
in their
back
general
to
direction.
show the rucksack.
Good. We need it all. It's got to go. It's got to go to the Congress. It's bad. They're being manipulated, but we don't know what they're building at this site. There's some sort of, I don't know, weapon or center they're building. I was going to do a flyby.
As I'm kind of leaning over the bar, rummaging around for one of the little umbrellas for my drink. Oh yeah, the New Republic are after something similar. I was leaning back, putting the umbrella in my glass.
Bloody New Republic. Oh, I'm surprised they're lifting a finger. Aren't they all cushy, sitting around, talking peace with the bastards?
Well, they're definitely here. We encountered some of their spies earlier.
Mm-hmm. There's a Wookiee worthy growl from deep inside her throat.
Awesome. I like her already.
Yeah. I need your help. You gotta get the governor out. You gotta get the governor from the pod race. Get him. If you.
Well, personal bodyguard protection would be a specialty of, and I'll point to Tasleen. Extraction a VIP from a location. We would be perfect for this job.
Wasn't our original mission to get Clem out?
I'm not leaving until the governor's leaving the planet.
Oh no, sorry, that was me asking.
I know. It was originally to go and help. Clem had sent you a thing saying, I need some help.
Oh, okay.
40.
Oh, okay.
She goes, I forgot. Hang on. And she reaches into her pocket and pulls out something and puts it in your hand, K-Van. And there's like a credit chip.
Is it 40,000 credits?
It's 60,000 credits.
It'll disappear before anyone can see. Well, not that they don't see, but they'll see his hand flicker, and the credit chip will be out of sight.
It goes in the credit chip pocket. So she starts taking the coat out of the jacket. It's like a jacket and a mask and a cape, and she starts taking it off. And she's like lying. She's not doing it very well, and there's like concealed like buckles and clasps, and she looks at the droid. I need some help.
Oh, of course, I will help because I am a droid and used for menial tasks like dressing people. Yes, of course, sure, and I will assist.
You look like you've got the most dexterous fingers.
I will laugh with my agility too. But yeah, I'll
Doesn't
help her.
trust K-Van.
No, yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. I'll help her.
Thank you. So get the jacket off. She's got like regular kind of clothing on underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah. Can we get to the ship? Can you get me back to my ship?
I'm sure we could.
I mean, as she takes her thing off, Taslin's going to wrap her big sort of trenchy coat type thing around her because she could go into shock. And
she looks like she's starting to like blink a bit and look a bit pale, like from blood loss and stuff. Taslin, I'm not going to make you roll, but you've used your med pack successfully and bandaged and staunched this wound. It's really bad. She's going to need to go in a Bacta tank. That she's had successive shots on her leg. And you've also found that she's got a couple of other blast marks on her lower torso on the right-hand side. So you're like lie down and lay still. I need to take a very short break, unfortunately. But we'll be back in a moment. Hello, we're back. Sorry for that short break. Cool. Okay, so you guys are in this entertainment movie room. Clem Lacuva is patched up, injured on the floor. And Kayvan has been given the costume to impersonate Ruto Zapal. What do you want to do now? You figure you've probably got about an hour until everything, maybe an hour and a half. You're not sure exactly what the time is.
Can we check the bodies for in case they've got anything interesting or valuable?
Valuable.
Well, no, they might have something that could be useful to us, like comms or something.
They have comms. Yep.
We'll take one of that. We'll take a couple of them. We'll give one to Nyruk and LE405, and then Dan and I, Taslin and I will take the other one.
Yeah.
Is that so we can listen into their conversations?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
Makes sense.
They've got heavy blaster pistols.
Oh, we'll pass one of those to LE405. So
I'm proficient in blaster pistol. I'm not.
you are now.
I am now.
And they each have a credit chip on them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them's got like a slicing kit.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll hand the slicing kit to Nyruk because.
And they've all got Black Sun tattoos.
How much are the credit chits?
They've each got like 500 credits.
Right.
Obviously just useful for like, but their Black Sun tattoos have been scored through with an additional tattooed savage line.
Not something we've come across before, I'm guessing.
No, but maybe some people who used to be part of the Black Sun and no longer are part of the Black Sun.
Yeah.
And one of them did say Gleege.
Gleege was breaking away from them at the end of season 1, wasn't he?
To join in with the Ariada Authority.
Gleege the Vast.
Gleege the Vast. Yes, indeed. So they look like hired goons, Black Sun goons. Okay, so you get all this stuff together, and you're helping Clem up. She can support herself on one leg, but she can't put any weight through her other leg. She's really hurt. She kind of leans on the Wookiee, who's, it's a natural thing to think, oh, the Wookiee will be able to hold me up. Leans on Nyruk, and sort of goes, oh, thanks. And she turns to Kayvan. She goes, Kayvan, of course, if you win the race, the prize fund is 1 million credits.
I mean, I'd love to. However, I'm not sure pod racers are my preferred vehicle.
Sure. Just fly past their base, right? Doesn't matter how well you do in the race. That doesn't matter. Just watch out for
any other
Krusk.
cash prizes?
Watch out for Krusk. He's a battle pod racer. So he's more than likely to have a few tricks up his sleeve, and they're kind of not so there's a bit of a what would you say? Not that there are no rules at the Phoebus Memorial Run, but it's a bit more flexible. They like to see the action. So
they're more like guidelines than rules.
yeah, exactly. And there's a bit more aggression.
What does that one's pod look like?
That's the Trandoshan.
I will avoid the Trandoshan.
Yeah, and as far as I know as well, Ralrua, and she says it, and you remember on the screen, Ralrua had an exclamation mark after it every time you saw Ralrua. The Wookiee, watch out for the Wookiee. Just aggressive driver. As far she pulls out a data slate, and she's like, Look, here's the information on Vinka Rastin and his family. Look, this guy...
Are there any prizes other than for first?
But second and third get like a bit of cash, but nothing...
Okay, so linger safely
major.
at the back. Got it.
Yeah, just not too bad, because you might get... there's those explosive things in the swamp, and the electrocutions in the industrial zone, and the Aztec zone. You know, that's really dangerous with the falling boulders. So just be careful, okay? You got to get through all that to get there. It's off limits otherwise. That whole area is off limits to any kind of civilian vehicles. But there's an exception for this
Is
run.
there somewhere I can look at study the track?
Yeah, it's on here. She hands you the thing. And
All right, I'm going to immediately start looking at it.
You can see it's got like this looping kind of track that goes up and around and down and through canyons, and then it's like it goes through a forest, and there's like notations on it like giant creatures don't hit trees. Yeah, and then the next one, a gas swamp, and it just says explosion, watch out. And then in the next one is like a ravine canyon system, and it's like falling boulders, and then it goes round into the industrial zone, and there's kind of like electrocution, pylon risk, crash risk. But you can see power couplings. Like, do you know the big giant ones?
Yeah.
And
big purple electric things.
Yeah. That just crackle in the middle of nowhere, and people can fly through the middle of them. It's Star Wars. And on the race, on the course, you can see there's like a little red dot for where the Ariado Authority facility is being built. And she's given you this small device. She's like, put this on the right-hand side of the pod racer, and that when you're nearby, activate it. It links into the pod racer's controls. Activate it, and it will scan that whole thing.
Excellent. I'm going to go off to the truck and start studying the living hell out of the racetrack.
Okay. Cool. So you help Clem out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, right, you three. I was going to send Greelet and Booley, but obviously Booley's crazy, and although very handy in a combat situation, clearly his reputation is preceding him. So I'm going to need your help to secure the governor and get him off-world. His family's been taken by the Ariado Authority. He's being manipulated. So we need to help him. He's supported the general for years out of here with, you can imagine all the fuel and ore processing and various industrial benefits that having Heverplex as a port of call for the rebels. But now I'm worried it might be safer if we just let them join the New Republic. At least then they'll get a cruiser in orbit, and the Ariado Authority will have to do something big and official rather than sneaking around and building, I don't know, detention centers or laser cannons or something on neutral worlds. I don't know. But he'll be in there in the box, the governor's box. We'll need you to get in. They were going to pose as serving staff, but I don't know whether that'll work for you. Get up there and then get him out. But now I've seen that Gleege's people are here, and the authority are everywhere. I think it's going to be trickier than I thought. Maybe not to get close to him, but to get him out. I think people are watching. I don't know if you could recce the place and see if you can see where they are, or track them down, or if you've got any communicators or any intel on them as to where they might be.
Well, normally I would like a lot more time to plan an extraction, but I believe we only have a short period of time before the race begins. So I call winging it to be the appropriate action. Nyruk, you might stand out a little. And maybe you, LEO5. Clem, you've got to get off planet. You are not in good shape.
No, I think I need back to bad.
If you two take the vehicle and get Clem back to her shuttle and get our shuttle on the warm, Nyruk or LEO5, do either of you have any piloting skill to get that ship off the ground? Or is it only K-Van that can fly the plane?
Never.
Grayler's all right. Grayler can fly.
He's got to fly your ship.
Just yeah. Take me back to my ship. We'll head off. You guys handle the governor. It's
because we're going to need a pickup quick. And my plan, if I may, I'm going to grab the governor and I'm going to get him to the track. At which point, one of you is going to land our ship. We'll load the governor on, drive a pod racer into the ship, and get off the planet very, very quickly. Of course, Kevin, you might need to change your transponder codes on your ship to make sure that we don't get caught at a later date.
I don't think the ship will get anywhere near the track without getting intercepted.
They won't. The attention's all on the race tonight.
I would have thought that they would still have some kind of protection for the race, given how important
You're
it
right.
is
And
to
as
them.
you're looking at the data slate, you can see that there's like people watch. There's patrolling ships, like speeders around the area, make sure like enthusiasts don't get too close. And there's more and more security is being applied every year. And this year's Phoebus Memorial Run will be the most secure event ever, thanks to help from the Ariado Authority. And these kind of things, like you're seeing, like
where does the map show sort of like an area that's closer than our current ship position to where it can land? Because in Taslin's mind, we are not getting the governor out of that and across the city to where our current ship is parked.
You could fly like to the other side of the industrial zone, and then K-Man could pod race out through the industrial zone to your ship. But he'd break out the cordon of the pod race. So the pod race is here. He could park over here, and then go. But you couldn't fly into the pod race zone. That is out of bounds, and like. All air traffic will be locked down for the night kind of thing, like in that zone. So you could like fly around the outskirts of town nearer on the other side, and then K-Van would have to drive the pod racer out to it.
The other thing we can do is grab the governor and dress him not as the governor and just walk him out.
The governor's a gran, isn't he?
Yeah. But there's loads of Grans on Malastare.
Oh, okay.
That's like
yeah,
half the people of Malastare are Grans.
I mean, there must be some more clothes in here. Perhaps there might be something more utilitarian.
This is his house. There's like loads of stuff in here. You probably find various things that you could, and
Perhaps,
if you want to spend a little time rummaging, like 10 minutes, like rummaging around the house, you can find some fairly non-governor, boring, like I'm going for a walk in the woods kind of clothes.
I mean, what Taslin's going to do is she's going to size up his clothes against the 3 Dead Black Sun guys and nick some of their clothing.
Okay, cool.
And then something that looks remotely like a Jedi robe, because somehow Jedis are always disguised, even though they all wear the exact same.
There's a dressing gown you can take, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what that's Taslin's plan. Go in, grab him, dress him up, and walk him out the front door. Nobody's going to know be the wiser.
Cool.
All the while, our lovely 2 people here will help Clem get back to her ship.
Get a hat or something.
They help get Clem back, because obviously the Ariado Authority is probably probably watching her ship, as they duly noted early on. And then Caven's going to fly the circuit, and we shall all get off the planet happily and safely, I'm sure, without any problems whatsoever.
Nothing can possibly go wrong.
Nothing. Perfect.
Okay. So, who's taking Clem back to her ship?
Nyruk and Ellie.
Okay. Cool. And Taslin's going to the stadium, and K-Van's going to the stadium. So the 2 of you are going to the stadium. 2 of you.
I'm assuming the data thing's got all of the details of where the racer is, entrance codes, etc.
Yeah, you've got like the the invite, the passcode to get in. You know, it seems that the governor has supplied all of this information to Clem so that she can fly the circuit, but obviously she can't now. And you've got all the passcodes and everything. So you two are going to head to the stadium. LE405 and Nyrick, you guys are going to go back to the starport.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are you taking who's taking the truck?
I would have thought them.
Are there any other vehicles around?
There's like a garage parked over to one side, and there's a couple of small speeders in there.
Okay, yeah, we'll take one of the kind of slightly posher looking speeders because we're supposed to be a racer.
Fair play.
And the vehicle and the truck's probably more nondescript for them to get through the town centre and drop off Clem. Before they go though, Taslin will ask Clem if there's like any sort of like code word to give the governor so the governor knows I'm there to help him.
She says she gives you a short sentence like the pigeons fly south in the winter or something like that, you know.
The pigeons fly south in the winter. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's fine. Otherwise, the governor will just assume that I'm probably another one of Gleege's blokes there to kill him.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Sound plan. I think we're going to be fine. We'll see you all on the flip side.
Cool. Okay, so LE405 and Nyrick, you get Clem into the vehicle and you start heading back to the starport. And it takes you 10 to 15 minutes to get there. The streets are quiet now. There's like, you can see the lights, you know, and like this big spotlights going out into, you know, lasers and things going up into clouds and stuff. And all the kind of buildings around there are massively lit up. And there's banners all around them. You can see it wherever you are in town, you know, because the outskirts are quite sort of smaller buildings, and then into the middle, and there's the stadium to one side. And you head round to the starport, and as you arrive, there's a couple more ships in dock. So obviously some people have come in to catch the memorial run, and you can see the Imperial shuttle over to one side that you saw with the Ariada Authority guys. Doesn't seem to be anyone around. There's your ship, and there's the Far Lancer, which looks like there's no one there.
Mm-hmm.
And Clem's like, oh, okay. So you have to park outside and head in. What are you going to do? You're going to just take her over to her ship?
Yeah, I think so. It's the plan, unless Clem has got any reservations about that, but we just want to get her to a ship.
She nods over at the Imperials, like, have they given you much trouble?
A little bit. They've mostly made friends with Kavan. We have a letter
He's an odd sort.
Yes, yeah, his interactions are unique. Interestingly, he talks about you 4% more than he talks about anybody else. 4% is not a significant amount of time, but it's a statistical note.
Yeah. True. For someone who worries so much about money, he does a lot of good things. Even though we do have to pay him to do them. You know, and he got that tree. Did he tell you about the tree?
We have no tree on board.
Last pear tree from Alderaan.
Oh, interesting.
My home world.
Oh. My condolences.
Thank you. And you see, she kind of mutters to herself, "Remember Alderaan." She can't help herself from saying it. You know.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh man, look, these authority guys. We need to just get rid of them all. It's just trouble. The Tarkin doctrine is crazy, right? They think fear is the way to run the world, the galaxy. It's just madness. I mean, Kavan should join our side properly. He's flown for us. Janway is like off training to the ways of the Force. I mean, and the others are on Arbor, running the operation. Sparks.
Mm-hmm. I've often found with individuals such as Kavan, if you tell them that they should do a thing, they will not. So perhaps do not convince him that he should be joining your cause, and he'll just do the things you need him to anyway.
Maybe I should tell him that he shouldn't join the rebels.
Perhaps.
I mean, money seems to work with him genuinely, but we are going to run out of money at some point. We've given him lots of money. I don't know what he spent it, and she points at the Wayfarer, and he's wasted it all on that rust bucket. I mean, what's he done? Like, he's put a spoiler on it. It's like, what's going on? Why is he? Like, have you seen his ramp when the smoke comes out? I mean,
yes,
it's just like
I get to press that button.
I mean, I wouldn't mind so much paying him if he at least gave it some bloody defenses or armor or weapons. He's just like, I don't know. He confounds me sometimes. Anyway, look. They're after the general. We can't let them find him. Yeah, and if they take Malastare, if the Eriadu Authority take Malastare, then it's another domino fallen. It's just we'll get back to the not so long ago old days of the bloody Empire running everything, and that was just not good for anybody. You can tell she's trying to convince you, even though you're a droid, and Nyruk, of the importance of this. Clearly thinking that maybe you might rub off on Kavan.
Yeah.
Maybe. She knows it's a fool's errand, but she's trying. Good. She's got to try. She's a rebel. But look, thank you, both of you, for your help, your assistance. It's she looks over and she's like, that's weird. And you hear a clang from over at the Imperial shuttle. What was that?
We'll
you look around and there's hardly anyone around. Like all of the people who work there, who were there before, like checking nozzles and pressing buttons and things, they're all gone. They're clearly all watching the.
I'm going to start sneaking over, or at least as sneaky as a giant hairy Wookiee could be.
Okay, so you start sneaking over. Like creeping. This huge Wookiee's like. And as you get closer, you hear like someone giggling, and you hear
like some sort of murderous Ewok fiddling with things.
And as you kind of look around, you can
Jabba's
see
little mate.
You can see that there's on the side of the shuttle there's a flap down, like one of the maintenance hatches, and there are two Ewok legs hanging out of it, kind of wiggling, and there's a bit of giggling going on. And
it's an actual Ewok.
It's Booley. It's Booley. Seems to be it's the only Ewok on this whole planet. And you can see that someone is messing about with the Imperial shuttle.
I'll tap him on the shoulder.
But the only thing he can reach is a leg. Yeah.
I'll tap him on the leg.
It's under. And the head sticks out, and he's like, looks at you, and he's like, and he's got a wrench, and he's got like oil down his fur and stuff.
I'm gonna look in there to see what he's doing, to see if he's doing it right.
Messing shit up. He's just like undoing things. He's pulled a hose out, and there's stuff spraying on his face. He doesn't care.
So if he's kind of going, in his Ewok language, I'm going to go in my language and kind of point.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, it's good stuff. Oh, be chihuahua," and he like starts stroking your fur as you get closer. And he's like,
I love it.
Right, like this, and he slides out of the. He takes it everywhere with him. Slides out of the cubbyhole this large, heavy, repeating blaster. It's like, and he's like, it's good enough. And he's like, he's like waving a spanner around. He's clearly trying to sabotage this shuttle. It looks like he's pulled one of the fuel lines or a motivator or something inside the thing.
I'll help.
LE405.
I thought I had a thing. Hold on.
Or you've got like a sabotage talent?
I've got bad motivator.
Yeah, he's got like, LE405.
I need to go check it in
perception
the
roll.
rulebook. Hold on.
Perception, okay. Difficulty 2, yeah?
Difficulty 1, because it's very quiet.
There we go. 1 success, 2 advantages.
You remember the sound of the vehicle. Remember the Ariada Authority guys were following you in a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing about you being a droid is you record things.
There's a reference.
There's a reference, so you can like match 2 sounds together and be like, that is that sound. Mm-hmm. You can hear that sound quite far away, approaching the starport of the vehicle that was following you when you went to the mining union office earlier on.
Okay. I would advise Master Booley hide somewhere again, rather sharpish, before the Eridadu Authority arrive, and perhaps you yourself should sequester yourself in your vehicle because they're on the way, and I'll like gesture.
And he like reaches in to make sure it's loose. He's like, he's getting covered in oil.
Nyruk, the authorities are about to arrive. Let's not cause a scene, because we do not need extra attention. I'll just be like, helping Clem into her ship.
Just before we go, can I, to see if it'll work, try a bad motivator roll? I'm not sure
what
if
does
it
bad
will work.
motivator do?
It says once per session, may take a bad motivator action, make a hard 3 mechanics check to cause one target device to spontaneously fail.
Ooh.
Is that allowed for a ship? Or do you mean it says to follow? Yeah, all right,
Why
cool,
not?
let's do it.
I'm going to let you do that.
I guess it'd be like a key component you're making fail that would
exactly,
make
and
the
it
rest.
won't fail right now. It'll fail when they try to use it.
Yeah, I like it. Okay,
Yeah.
so I need to make a mechanics roll. And it's hard. So that's 3, is it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can use a light side point to
Yes,
upgrade
please.
one of your green dice to a yellow dice if you want.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Upgrade.
So right click on your green dice and left click on your yellow dice. And click on the light side. Can you do that? Or do I have to? There you go. Point
you have
flipped.
to, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
feck.
you failed. Oh, no, you got a triumph. Cool. Okay. So, he's doing this with the spanner, and you take it off him, and you're like, there's one key thing here that you need to do. You kind of move back, shut the lid, and you're pretty sure that if this thing tries to take off, it will fail. They can repair it fairly easily because you didn't get your advantage. You didn't succeed. You got your triumph. So you have a moment of triumph where there's a chance that something might explode when they take off. Yeah, when they try to take off.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
But you've had a little play with it, and the two of you come scurrying out. And the little Ewok looks particularly happy with himself. He's like
mischievous smiles on our
he's got
faces.
like oil all over him and stuff. And Clem's like, and she talks in Ewokese or whatever it's called. And she's like this, and he goes, and he like in a little huff, like and dragging a foot, like. But with a heavy repeating blaster rifle over his shoulder. And he's just like, and he saunters off back to their ship. And you see, like, Greela, like, appear, like, bleary-eyed, like, as if being asleep or something. Like, at the ramp, like, Booley, where have you been? Oh, God. And Clem's like, and you guys shuffle her over to the ship. And as you do, you see this speeder come back in, and there is one Ariado Authority trooper on it, and it pulls up, and they get out and go over to the shuttle and get on board. But nothing, not start it up or anything, but just like go on board. Clem's like, oh, thank you so much for getting me back to my ship. I don't know whether we should dust off now or wait till after the race. We should. I don't know. It's probably a good time to leave now, right? Everyone's so focused on the pod race.
I believe that's what Tasleen said. So
I'm a bit hazy at the moment. She kind of
off
looks
planet
down at her leg, like,
and to the nearest medical facility you have access to.
Okay. I think that's your moon friend. I better go and see then. Right. Okay. Fine. Greela, get ready to leave. Send the and he goes. Oh, you know, Rhodian language takes her away, and he just like gives you a little thumbs up, and you guys head down the ramp, and their little ramp closes, and you see Greela kind of waves out the window and is sending communication to the air traffic control, and the little lights on the building like light up, and as you step away, the fire lancer like lifts up and starts flying off.
Now I don't see why she was complaining about the smoke and the steam additions. That would have looked much more spectacular with those modifications put on. It's not as much of a waste of credits as she made out. And are we now going to watch the pod race?
Nyric's like,
Oh.
Speaking of the pod race, we will cut over to Taslin and Kavan, who are cruising along in their low-riding, pimped-out governor's vehicle style. You know, really nice looking. I had to find a nice speeder with the right controls. Yeah. Anyway, and cruising through the streets, and there's people everywhere. You're heading in towards the masses, but generally, it being this kind of industrial, fairly well organized city, fairly well, you know, routine and everything, people are quite used to vehicles still having to move through. So you make your way through fairly slowly through the crowds towards the stadium. And as you get closer, this is this huge structure, and it's like an amphitheater, as it's the start point and the return point for the pod race. And you can, as you're getting closer, you can see outside there are large viewing areas with huge screens, and like people are flashing up on the screens. Kavan, you see Gleege the Vast appear on a screen in a box. And then you see lots of other things, and it's like, boo, Phoebus Memorial Run, do, million credit, prize fund for the top, you know, and all this kind of stuff. It's going on. And then there's like pictures of pod racers looking serious or smiling or like, you know, in an action pose or like angry. You know, they're kind of like with profiles and stuff kind of popping up on screens and all this kind of, you see a big Trandoshan who looks like mean as with a large battle pod racer behind it, which looks like it's got guns on it. You're not sure behind it. And it's like, Krusk, don't trust the Krusk, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, they're really going for it. And everyone's like, yeah. And like different people come up. And there's a droid, SP33D. And it's like, yeah, speed, like this. And everyone's getting really crazy, and it's all going a bit full on. But you guys get shuffled down the VIP entrance, yeah, and you slide down as Kavan is able to produce the kind of, you know, documents at the right points, and you get round to a certain side, and you are aware at this point that Taslin, you will not get cleared through this zone whereas K-Van will, because K-Van is now donned the outfit of Ruto Zapal, and in fact you've had to not put the mask on yet because you're aware that if you put it on, people around you are going to go crazy and start like mobbing your vehicle. Yeah. And you see Ruto Zapal kind of appear, the mysterious pod racer from, you know, and it's kind of all going off and people are like, yeah. So you drive up, it's all going crazy, and Tazin, you get out of the car and start to make your way into the arena. You know, and it's with all the people. You've got a ticket. You've bought one on the Holonet on the way there. It's not much, you know. There's so many people coming to see this, but you've got access into the main area, and you're moving through all the people, and they've all got different coloured jerseys on, and they're all cheering different things, and some of them are holding banners and signs and all this kind of stuff, and some of them have got like clackers and vuvuzelas and all those annoying loud things that people at these bigger sporting events have. So you're moving through. K-Van, you have a very different experience. You drive into the VIP area and put your mask on, and when you come in, a gran kind of valet comes to the car and kind of opens the door and is surprised that you're actually driving the car yourself. But then they're like, you see a moment where he thinks, oh, pod racer, of course he'll drive his own car. He likes driving. That's what he does. And they're like, Mr. Zapal, you are just barely in time to join in the event. Please follow me. I will take you out to the stadium floor where there are, you know, interviews and refreshments and photo ops and various things going on. Please come with me. And he kind of leads you through a few corridors, which are like those kind of breeze block corridors that are the back access things to major stadiums. They never look nice. They're all kind of like little straight cut through to the main floor. And as Taslin is kind of coming out into a sea of thousands of people, you know, tens of thousands of people in this arena, K-Van, you've got a very solitary walk down this corridor, and you can hear the noise as you're getting closer to the other end of, like, you know, the people and all the screens and all the music and there's like a band playing out there and all that kind of stuff. And the doors open and you come out onto the stadium floor, and much like in episode 1, there's like the big pod racers like set up, and all the people are going out and checking their vehicles and all this kind of stuff. And K-Van, Ruto Zapal's pod racer is a very sleek, dark gunmetal silver pod racer, where the two pods at the front have kind of arrowhead blades on the front to make it look particularly angular and almost aggressive, with a fairly modest, small, but what looks like slightly armoured pod at the back, and two large kind of thruster engines with multiple air inlets around the outside. So it looks like a pretty good pod racer. It looks pretty slick. There's like 4 quad pods. There's like big chunky ones. There's like small tiny ones. There's like some little crappy thing from, you know, Tatooine, and a whole breadth of different pod racers. And you can see all these. There's 10 of them, and you can see all these people sort of lined up. They're checking their vehicles and all this kind of stuff. There's a Trandoshan you can see with this big pod racer, and like loading ammunition into the cannons on the sides of the pod racer, and all this kind of stuff. And everyone, yeah. And to you, looking up, it's just a sea of faces, lights, holographic images, screens, and noise. You can barely tell what's going on out there. It's just like huge. And all you kind of find yourself doing is walking over to your pod racer and this guy going, okay, here you go, Mr. Zapal, everything's ready as you requested ahead of time. We've fueled, we've checked this, we've checked, and it goes through a whole list of things. Taslin, you get through the turnstile, wrestling through the thing, get a hot dog, on the way through, all that stuff, and you kind of make your way out onto the main stadium area. So you can get a lay of the land, check it out, see what's going on. It's big, steep stadium down to the floor. You can see all the pod racers ready. There's the start line. There's the finish line. Out that way you can see beyond. There's the forest with these huge redwood style, massive trees. And various things have told you on the way through to this point that there are giant creatures out there, giant animals, wild creatures that will interfere with the pod racers, and it's a test of their skill, and all this kind of stuff. And off the other way, on the way back in, you can see this industrial zone because you're on the edge of the city, so you can see all of that stuff over there. And there are some aerial units over in that direction, maybe, the lights in the sky that denote a ship moving about, kind of thing. And you're looking around, there's like 100,000 people in this thing, and you're like, oh my god. And you look up and you can see the executive boxes, and there's there's a Congress of Malastair banner over one of them, which is where you think the governor will probably be. You can also see a large hut in one of them, which everyone knows is Gleege the Hut, and Gleege the Hut is actually sponsoring SP33D, the racer droid, in the race to try and win, obviously. And there's various other boxes, various other rich and powerful people from across the planet who you have no idea who they are. But occasionally they're like, oh, look, hey, these people are here together. There's like a celebrity scoop of they've arrived together at the Phoebus Memorial Run. So it's all kicking off. It's all going on. And you start to make your way up towards the governor's box.
Is there a place to put a bet on before I go? I want to know the odds. Yeah. I want to know the odds on Rule to Pow dying in the race.
Oh well, that's the death rates. So you got to go to you out on the stadium floor. There's no betting on death rates, but out in the corridors on the way in, near the food stalls and things, there's a couple of people who aren't being monitored, and you could slip a little bet in. It's 25 to 1.
I'm gonna put 50 credits on him to die.
Okay. And you're like, whoa, that's not bad odds. This sounds like it must be a dangerous pod race. One of the most dangerous pod races in the galaxy.
Taslin's also figured that if he dies on track, she isn't going to get paid, so she might as well get paid if he dies.
This is true.
Oh, she's put 50 credit down on that.
Okay, so you start making your way up the stadium, and as this happens, there's like a trumpets and like synthesizer trumpets, not real trumpets, like blaring out, and everyone kind of stops, and there's like a hush and everything. And from the governor's box, you see a Gran, and you think this is probably Vinca Rastine, right? And he steps forward, and he's got like a headset, and so his voice is projected out across the whole stadium, and Kavan can hear this, and it's replayed on screens around the city, around the world, and even Nairuk and LE405, where you are, there's a little screen somewhere that's showing Vinca Rastine. So you see him, and it says Governor Vinca Rastine. Governor Vinca Rastine steps up to do the announcement of the beginning of the Phoebus Memorial Run. It's like, welcome everyone here to our wonderful world of Malastair. Thank you for joining us for another amazing night with the Phoebus Memorial Run. And everyone's like, "Rah!" And he says, pod racers ready, like this. And all the pod racers, including Kavan, climb into their pods, and he goes, may the force be with you. And he like cheers, and everyone, like, there's like a slightly strange mixed reception to that. but enough people cheer that it kind of picks it up, and then everyone's like, "Ah," like this, and it goes, bam, 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 and the pod races start, and they all shoot off, and we'll end our episode there. And K-Van is like,
cool.
It ends with K-Van's face as it shoots through the start line of the pod race.
Not that you can see it because of the thing.
Sure. Like Iron Man style, like inside the mask.
Inside his hood, yeah.
Yeah, inside the mask is...
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Cool. Okay.
I'm sure nothing terrible is going to happen.
We're going to have some rolls and some fun next time with
I'm sure it's all going to be brilliant.
calamitous escape plan and some fun pod racing. So it's going to be interesting. Cool. Okay, right. Thank you very much, my wonderful players, for tonight.
Thank you.
I had a lot of fun. That was very cool. Thank you to our viewers. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to go check out all our socials. There's links about the place somewhere. You can find all those things. If you're watching us on Twitch, please don't forget we'll put the episodes up on YouTube at the weekend, so please join us there. Go give it a like, a comment, and a subscribe. We're nearly at 5,000 subscribers on the channel, which would be cool. If you are watching back on YouTube later, thank you very much. If you made it all the way to the end of the video here right now, that's amazing. Please go give us a little follow on Twitch as well. Even if you don't watch on Twitch, it just helps with the numbers, so that's cool. Join us on our Discord, where we're having loads of conversations about all our games, role-playing in general, cooking, movies, all kinds of stuff. 700 people chatting about things. It's great. Wonderful community, wonderful people, spurring us on to keep doing this. And also check out our Patreon. There's lots of free stuff on there. But if you do want to support the channel, which would be cool, then you can get loads of extra stuff. Like you can come and play games with the Garblags, or you can see what's going on with Barg Doomeraz and Gartopia and all kinds of other cool
all
things.
Kinds of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So there's some cool stuff on there. So come and join us. But yeah, otherwise, thank you very much for joining us. And what do we have tonight? Do we have Atlantis?
I think Megan's characters just had a bit of a tough time, and someone on YouTube was talking about how it echoes her Delta Green character, the poor doctor. But they're playing Achtung Cthulhu.
Yes.
Shadows of Atlantis.
Yeah.
I always want to say Search for Atlantis. That's the thing there.
Yeah.
Shadows of Atlantis, which is sort of sideways to the Forest of Fear stuff they had exclusively a little while ago. And that's on North American time. So stay up late or stick around, whatever your time zone is. Generic time zone greeting for you. And then, you have to wait till the weekend for all the fun stuff on YouTube. At the weekend, there will be more. If anybody joined us for the West Marches, that was cool. This time last week, we did some YouTube stuff. And there'll be more YouTube this weekend with more Dungeons and Dragons West Marches campaign. I can't remember what we did in these sessions off the top of my head.
I'm watching the first one. I'm catching up. And a lot, good stuff at the beginning. There's some crazy uses of spells and things, which was cool.
Yeah, pre-cooking.
And I need to kind of catch up with the rest of them.
Yeah. So more of that this weekend as well, just for the YouTubes. And if you are on the Patreon, there's some secrets. Well, that's not so secret stuff. But there's the West Marches play
guide.
Which
is like a 20-page document that Millie just created and laid out and did all the stuff. And it's like a proper document with like, this is how you do traveling stuff. This is how you do character creation. This is how you think about West March. It's great.
Yeah. And you can have that. And you can go and play in your game. But that's it. Because then we're going to have a rest. Yeah. And we'll be back on Tuesday with Space. No, we won't. Actually, that's a lie because it's Valentine's Day on Tuesday.
Valentine's Day. And also there's some holiday stuff going on. So we need to have a chat about what's going on next week. But yeah.
There you go.
Also, check out the YouTube shorts that we've been doing.
Oh, yeah.
Of drawing maps.
Cool maps. Yeah. But now I feel like I'm just doing the rambling. But stick around. Later on, there'll be Achtung Cthulhu. There you go.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you very much to my players. Thank you very much to the viewers. Thanks for joining us, and see you next time. And happy gaming. Bye-bye.